All right, to finish up 1.8 in inverse functions, we're going to be told, it says find the inverse of each one-to-one function. So if they're telling us that the function is one-to-one, they're telling us these have inverses. So we don't have to prove that. We don't have to do the horizontal line test. We're just asked to find the inverse function. Okay, so first thing we're going to do is change b of x into y. Okay. Step 2 is to interchange x's and y's. So x equals y plus 1 over y minus 2. The next part of step 2 is to solve for y. Now, it was easy in the previous cases. It's a little, it's not hard, but it's different for these. So a lot of people have trouble with how to solve this. All you have to do is multiply both sides by y minus 2. At least that's what we're going to start with. Okay. So when I do that, on the right-hand side, this cancels. And then on the left, I have xy minus 2x. Right, by distributing the x in here. Now what I'd like to do is get all the y terms on one side of the equation and all of the x's and constant terms on the other. So I'm going to add 2x to both sides. So I have xy equals y plus 1 plus 2x. I need to get this y to the left, so I'm going to subtract it from both sides. So I have xy minus y equals 1 plus 2x. Here's probably the trickiest part. Now that we have all the y terms on one side, they are not like terms. We can't add them together, but we can factor out the y. And that leaves behind x minus 1. And now we've got, as a result, y times something. So if we want y by itself, we can simply divide. So we get y equals 1 plus 2x over x minus 1. And we can write that as f inverse. Just to let you know, in case you run into this problem, if you're looking in a textbook, for instance, and your answer looks like this, and in the textbook it looks a little different, keep in mind that this is a fraction, and I can very well go ahead and multiply by -1 over -1. And if I do that, that's going to make it look like this instead. Okay, and then, of course, you might rearrange. All right, so these are just things that you want to keep in mind when looking at these kind of problems, just in case your answer doesn't look exactly like what you're seeing somewhere. Okay. Let's go ahead and try one more. It's going to be very similar. First step is change this to y equals. Then interchange x's and y's. And solve for y. Remember that we're going to simply multiply this to the other side. Then we're going to distribute this to both pieces. So that's going to be 2xy plus 3x equals 4 minus y. Then we need to get all the y terms together. So I'm going to add y to both sides. And you could choose to move them around, right? Again, that would give you something a little different than what I have here. All right, so I have 2xy plus y plus 3x equals 4. I want just y on the left-hand side, so I'm going to subtract 3x. So I have 2xy plus y equals 4 minus 3x.
It's 5 o'clock on Friday. Celebrate the start of the...
All right, so I have 4 minus 3x on the right-hand side. On the left, I need to factor out y. That's going to leave me with 2x plus 1. Last thing I need to do is get y by itself, so I need to divide by 2x plus 1. And so I have this. And then last thing is to, step 3 is to change it to inverse. Let's see, this was a t of x, so I'm going to call it t inverse. And that's this guy. Again, yours might look a little different if you decided to move things to other sides of the equation. For instance, you might have 3x minus 4 over negative 2x minus 1. All right, same thing. All right, so that concludes section 1.8 on inverses. As always, let me know if you have questions.